Let's take a look at subtracting three-digit numbers. Do you remember the story about subtraction? Let's refresh your memory. It carries on from the story of the elephant and the ant. After the elephant shook the ant off to the ground, the elephant stomped on the ant and squashed it. This is all very sad, so the earth got very upset and cried. How did the earth show that it was crying? It rained. In which direction does it rain, grade 4s? Does it rain upwards? No, it rains downwards. And for that reason, when we subtract, we always put the elephant on top and the teeny tiny ant at the bottom, and we draw an arrow downwards on the side to remind us to subtract in a downwards direction. When we subtract three-digit numbers, will the answer be different if the ant is on top? Yes, you have to put the elephant on top when subtracting. Otherwise, you will not be able to complete the calculation. When subtracting, where do we start subtracting from? Can you think? Also from the units column. The steps for three-digit subtraction are very similar to the steps for three-digit addition. Step number 1, line up the place values. Step 2, write the bigger number first in the correct place value column. Step number 3, write the smaller number underneath in the correct place value column. So far, everything is exactly the same. Step 4 is where it gets a bit different. Step number 4 says draw the arrow to remind you to subtract downwards. Step 5, subtract and borrow if necessary. Let's take a look at an example of three-digit subtraction. 694 minus 247. Step number 1, line up the place value columns. Draw the arrow downwards to remind you to subtract in that direction. Line up the bigger number first in the correct place value columns. And write the smaller number underneath in the correct place value columns. Now you can start subtracting from the units column in a downwards manner. 4 take away 7 you cannot do. So you need to borrow from the 9, which becomes 8. Remember, you can only borrow 1. The one that you've just borrowed gets given to the 4. This number now becomes 14, not 5. 14. 14 take away 7, you can use your fingers if you need to, is 7. Move on to the next place value column in a downwards manner. 8 take away 4 is 4. Move over to the next place value column in a downwards manner. 6 take away 2 is also 4. So your answer is 447.